I'm Luke.
And I'm Saro.
And I'm Evelyn.
And we love theater.
We're pretty much theater geeks.
So we are bringing to you this podcast,
talking about our experiences, mess-ups, and more.
Welcome to Stage Shot.
Hello, podcast listeners.
Hey.
Welcome back to Stage Chat Podcast. And we are back from our little hiatus. That 2 to 3 week hiatus we had.
Yeah, well, but I have a better mic now.
Yeah, if you didn't hear, we are talking about horrible mics. So I upgraded to a blue snowball. He upgraded to a pseudo-tac from Amazon, not sponsored. Yeah, it was awesome. So, cool. Podcast Estencia? I think it's season. I have a dictionary. No,
yeah. Wait, what did you say earlier?
Estencia Nueve.
Sure.
Estencia Nueve. All right. Podcast Estencia
No, wait,
Nueve.
that season 9? No.
Oh, wait, no. Episode 9. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, we should get on topic.
Okay. That's episode number 9.
Yes.
Just if anyone
We've been running for that. All right. Anyways,
okay.
Today we are going to be talking about stunts on stage, like things like that, but also like really stupid ideas we've seen during shows, like bad decisions in our opinion. And we just want to make it clear at the beginning, we're not trashing the companies. We think the place is awesome, or trashing the theater or anything like that. We just think these decisions were just really, really dumb.
Or funny stunts.
Funny stunts. So I think we'll start with the we have more negatives than positives, which is probably kind of sad. I don't know. Whatever. We'll start with the positive ones first.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm the only one who has positive ones. So
not me.
If you can think of any as we go on, you can do it. So what happened was there's this one impressive stunt where I think I talked about this in the previous podcast episode. I always say the previous podcast like I've had multiple podcasts. But basically what they did was they had to make it look like the Beast. It was Beauty and the Beast. I've talked about that so many times. Was transforming. And what they did was they had this like stool type thing. And then what it did was it had this like secret like black like platform right under it. It was super tiny. And since the stage was super dark at this moment, when they removed the chair, it looked like he was flying. But he really wasn't.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I saw the Beauty and the Beast, but
really?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that part?
No.
Yeah.
It was kind of a while ago, though.
All right. So yeah, that was really cool, and it didn't seem like much when you saw it in rehearsal, but when you saw it on stage with like the effects and all that stuff, it looked like he was actually transforming. So like, despite if the budget was small, like big props to the company for that. Yeah, Broadway hacks.
I don't know.
We're so awkward. Anyways.
Well.
Sorry, I was just moving up my mic.
Yeah, we're good.
Next one this one was kind of funny, but also kind of cool. So at the beginning of this is the second time. Sorry, that show just had really impressive like props and sets. Well, at the beginning, they had like they had LeFou, the person who played LeFou, get a fake gun and then shoot into the air to make it look like they were hitting a duck. And then in the sky, they had this like trap door thing, and they put a stuffed duck in it. And what would happen is when he would shoot up, there'd like be the sound effect that the sound guy played, and then it would be like bam, and then we'd see it, and then like 2 seconds later, the trapdoor would open out of view, and the duck would go falling down. It was so like in rehearsal. Me and one of my friends there, we always talked about it and always laughed because it was just so ridiculous, but also really cool and impressive. That was really funny.
Nice.
Yeah, and it turned out, I think one time it failed, and it fell before he shot the gun. So it just looked like a bird just fell out of the sky. That was so weird. That my word. ASMR. Anyways, once I get a better mic, we're doing ASMR podcasts.
Oh my god. Yes.
And another thing we always found funny from there is that the director host type person, what happened was she would be stroking the duck like by holding its neck. The fake duck.
That
We're
sounds-
not
wow.
animal abusers. Fake duck. That she would like grab it by the neck really tightly and be like stroking it by its head. And like we never knew why she was doing it. But like me and my friend, we were always laughing because she looked like she was strangling the freaking duck.
Oh no.
Like when it fell out of the sky. Oh my
Oh
lord.
man.
I wonder how many times we've said like, oh my. Okay, we're getting off topic so much.
All right.
So the thing is, I have like this is gonna be a short episode today.
And on to the
So-
negative.
So you have 2 and I have 4. So
Yes.
how about I say one and you'll say that I and so on?
Sure.
All right. So this one, it was in. I'm not gonna mention the show. But what happened was they had to make it look like they were flying, and no, it wasn't Peter Pan. But what happened was instead of like doing something cool like wires or boxes or anything they could like stand on, like they just did like they didn't even go off the ground. They just spun in the air and danced. Wait, no, that makes it sound like they were flying. No, they spun on the ground and danced like doing circles, and it looks so stupid. Like if you didn't say they were flying, you probably would have no context of what was happening in the actual scene.
That's weird.
Yeah, sorry, it just bothers me. Like they couldn't
Just
even
went
get
on a
them to.
rant there.
Yeah, they couldn't even like get them like boxes
dare
or something. How dare they? They couldn't even get like boxes though. Like how? Okay, no.
You were about to say how dare they? I knew it.
How dare they? All right,
Okay.
all right, whatever. Just
All right.
sorry for my little rant.
Okay.
Anyways,
In
you
a
want to go
sh-
on about your next one?
Yes. Another
She
thing
kept talking about this before we started today.
It was funny.
All right, go.
Okay. Well, in this show, I'm not gonna say it, but again, they had to make it look like they were flying, and it was a kid show, obviously, and we couldn't use wires because the waivers and stuff.
Oh, wait, sorry. Can I add to that?
Yes.
So, although I was mad they didn't use wires, they actually gave a pretty legit reason. Because during Tech Week, I asked like the producer, like, "Hey, I was wondering, why weren't we able to use like wires and stuff for this
Yeah, because
show?"
waivers and kids and
Well,
stuff.
waivers was one thing, and us being kids was one. But I've seen kids fly in other shows, but so like that wasn't.
That's weird. But what they say?
So what they said was one thing is that obviously it cost a lot of money, and that was the main thing, that it was very expensive. And another main thing is that you need a lot of training. So the way our thing works is that there tends to be shows after each other. So we need to learn to fly in a very small time.
Yeah.
And if you look up Peter Pan flying fails on YouTube, you can see that they clearly did not train like for any of this. So if they trained us, what?
You just said the name. Zoo.
Sorry, whatever. It's no one's listening to the podcast anyway.
It's fine. We're doing
Anyways,
we good.
So yeah, as they said, they need to bring in a flying instructor every so often, which would be a lot. And then they need to train us and have them come in. And since Tech Week is only about 2 weeks, how could they learn? How could they get? And because shows are happening right after another, how could they get us to learn to fly? Okay, sorry to go off topic, but I thought that's something kind of interesting that I wanted to tell you.
Dr. Moi's thing.
My little theater lesson. All right, keep going.
All right, in the show. The thing. Okay. Luke and some other people had to do it. They had to fly, and it was a kid show, and they'd all pretend to do it in rehearsal, and it was really funny. But we
have to like move our arms up and down.
Were they like razor scooters, or were like the tricycle scooters?
They were no. One used like an airplane. That was what I used. One used one used a bouncy ball, and one used a scooter razor. All right, can you explain to them?
Okay, so they had to fly, and they used like these kid items to like fly. I'm doing quotation marks, no one can see, but yeah, and like Luke said, he had to have the airplane pretend he was flying.
Oh my god, that was so cringy.
And the scooter was extremely funny to watch, and I watched it from the side, and I kind of died because I was laughing really loudly.
Yeah, that was
shushed me like so hard. She was like,
I'm gonna bore out her name.
Oh,
You just gave away the director, not the director's,
No.
the person's name. Assistant director's name.
Thingamajig.
Yeah, but as I
Alright.
said, I found that really stupid because they tried to like make like a metaphor out of it, being like they're recovering their pasts and child selves.
And they're like,
and it's like, what? This is Peter Pan. We're supposed to be flying. Yeah, like first of all, like no, and second, like they could think of better ways to do that. Like they could stand on black boxes and no one would really care, and just like put some steam in, make it look like they're flying. Like that could do the job. Yeah. But they made no effort to make it look like we were flying, and I thought that was really stupid. Like as I said, I understand they can't do wires, even though I really wanted that. Yeah, I was so sad.
Okay, we have to do ASMR when you get a new microphone.
When I get a
That's like the top of my list.
Mic. Yeah, we'll add that to the ideas list.
Definitely.
Anyways, yeah.
Another one for you?
All right. I just talked so much and it wasn't even my thing. Next up is, so this was not going to say the show, although it's going to be kind of obvious. Well, basically the whole premise is that they had traveled inside this item. Like, for this example, I'm just going to use, like, say they used a book. Anyways, so they had to, I'm just going to say, pretend they were in a book. That wasn't close to it, but they were in a book, but they wouldn't even make a set that looked like the book. Like, for example, if it was a thing about being in a book, they didn't even give the book set. So, like, in this show,
all the ones that I've seen,
they didn't give the book. They didn't even make it look like, they literally just put a curtain behind them. And I was kind of disappointed because this theater tended to have good like production quality, but instead they I don't know.
Even like my camp, this book related set, they had it. Like every one that I've seen has had it. I've never seen one without it.
Yeah, or maybe I just remember wrong, but I remember they didn't really make an effort to do that, which always kind of bothered me, even though it's long ago. All right, you want to go?
Wow, okay. In this other show, same one with the scooters, they had 3 of a character, and it made no sense at all, and it bugged me so much because they didn't talk. They like danced, but there were 3 of them for one character, and it wasn't even like over time. They were all 3 on stage at a time, and it was double casted.
Yes,
and 3 of them were double casted, so there were 6 people playing the same role, and it killed me inside.
So basically, yeah, as she said, there was like this one part that was like a friend of the main character, and like they were supposed to only be one person, but I think they needed more roles in the show.
Yeah.
So or more people to play parts.
I honestly think that's what it was on the script.
Whatever.
That's weird.
But yeah, they just, what they did was, since the show was double casted, oh my god, we mentioned that like every episode.
It was
but what they did was there was 3 people playing that one part, and since it was double casted, there was 2 casts, meaning 6 people playing this one part that didn't even have lines. Like, really that was so stupid. Like, I felt so bad for the people that got that part because they were kind of just robbed. And why did you just change your virtual background to the United States office?
It's called the Oval Office.
And sometimes I've noticed that a 3-person type thing can work really well because, once again, Beauty and the Beast. What they did was they had 3 people playing. They used the rose with 3 people in a specific way. Like, instead of just having it be a prop, they like had like dancers being roses, and like they would help. Good, but they would help transform and stuff. And the show, number one, the show wasn't double casted, and second, they did it really well. Like, they had nice dancers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And their costumes were actually decent, unlike that show. We're really ripping on this one show we're talking about.
But it wasn't. Yeah.
All right, then. So I have 2 more, and sorry you won't get to talk, but you'll be able to comment.
Yes.
So I was once in the show. This was in my least favorite shows episode. So as I said, kind of, they drew the sets. I'm not lying. So what they did was, in one day, they what they did, what the hell?
What they did.
They got like this big like poster board with like a castle on it. Tons of shows have castles. That's not too much material. But what happened was they like put it, and then one day during play rehearsal, we drew it. Like, I'm not kidding. They gave us markers and they just said like draw on this.
Oh,
And as
no.
I know,
How old were you?
that is so, huh? It was like,
How old?
it was 3 to 6.
Oh, no.
Yes, there was like these sixth graders who were
Oh.
drawing sets. Like, I felt so bad for the people actually interested.
Oh, no.
Like, the sets in that show and the props were just really bad. Like, to
Oh my
simulate
God.
water, they
In
got
this show, our props were terrible. You agree?
which
It's the scooters and the
oh yeah
that show.
Yeah, that show we
Those
were
are
just talking
awful
about.
props.
It had
we had like
the one with like the
cans. I
3
think we
double
had tin
casting.
cans.
Yeah, those bad props. But the props are really bad. To simulate water, they got one blue sheet and had us move it up and down.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I think they could like at least do 2 sheets or have
Yeah.
water, have like tinfoil not tinfoil, like blue sheet on the ground or something.
But like professional people use that kind of too.
Oh, really? Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just.
but they do have 2
uncultured.
sheets. You're right.
Yeah, this just had one single blue sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so our last one is coming up. So next up, lastly, oh my God, this is the same show we talked about before. Maybe this show was it was a good show with okay casting, but I guess it just had really bad decisions at times.
Yeah.
So one thing is, this probably bothered you, but since we are, so basically this is probably going to give away the show, but there's this one point where this person basically had to like blow up, and like they blew up and we're supposed to be this like big ball, and we're probably just giving away the show. But what they did was, instead of having like an inflation suit or a good costume or anything like that, they just gave her a dress that's kind of round. Like, it always bothered me so much.
Yeah, I saw that show. It didn't make any sense.
You were in that show.
No, I wasn't.
Oh wait, no, you weren't. Never mind.
No, my friend was, but
we keep ripping on this one show, even though it was okay.
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense.
Hey guys, Future Luke here. Just ignore what's happening in the background. I just wanted to add that there's gonna be a lot of like tones and cuts right now. That's just because we kind of gave up and said the name of the show, but I don't really want that to happen. So just keep out for that. Okay, enjoy. But what they did was they had to have blow up into like this ball after eating this dark. If you presented that today. But anyways, instead of having like a cool inflation suit or anything like that, they had a big they had like this dress that wasn't even that round. Like, it always bothered me so much. Like, you can just think, like, imagine if you had to have someone blow up and you're muted, Evelyn. They had to have someone blow up and then they just used like a dress like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that'd bother anyone else. So is that our last one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
that's it. Do you have any others?
No, but I do have an add-on.
All right.
Me and Luke are going to be in a show in December. Actually, it's going to be in January, but we're going to do a Zoom show episode sometime in the near future from personal experience. So
yeah, since we're doing a Zoom show type thing, and then because of that, we're gonna have an episode if there's a season 2 about that, and get excited. Speaking of that, I know this is a bit off topic, but in season 2, we're thinking of combining topics, because we notice we'll have little topics, but they can't go on for full episodes, but only have a few that could go on for full episodes. So we're thinking combining random ones to make long episodes.
Sure. This has actually been a decently long episode. It's been 20 minutes.
It's been 20 minutes? I haven't seen that. Anyways, so that's all. Sorry for that little break we had to take. And tomorrow's episode is an exciting one. It's our final episode of season 1.
Tomorrow? You mean next week?
Next week. But anyways, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
See you
Bye, podcast listeners.